don't let anybody know about your Facebook because you could go to jail.
Carousel of fun.
Wow.
Now, I'll just spin around and watch my hip things. Like, no.
Kicking me in the nuts.
You need to detach right now.
They were trying to blend his balls.
Oh, boy.
Shit, man.
I need them tenderized.
Oh. All right. Well, hey. We're going to start this show now.
Wow.
We've I feel like we've already done a show.
It's oddly enough.
Yeah.
Why y'all looking at me?
Yeah. Well, here we are, everybody. It's Sad Dad's Club Podcast, episode 26.
26.
And so far, before we even get started, Data's already had way too much to say.
The good news is we saved that for pre-recording, so we didn't lose $2.3 million from our sponsor.
Hey, McDonald's.
Oh, my gosh.
If you still want to, lose $2.3 million on a podcast,
We would not show that.
we don't
want to put it
butt
in a
plugs.
way where they're losing $2.3 million.
They're
gaining
They would
a
gain.
sponsorship with a podcast.
Yes.
And heck, I'd do it for a quarter of that.
Yeah.
I do it for $10. It's more than anything we've gotten sponsored.
You do just about anything for $10, from what I understand.
You're
on
goddamn
Facebook.
right.
I've seen you on Fiverr. I know your profile. C. Schroed's one tooth.
1, 2.
Hey, Scott.
Oh, you looking for something special? $5. Make you holler.
Did you see the picture of the
yeah.
my grill?
Yeah.
I have a screw up in my face now.
Yeah, look good. Look good.
Oh, yeah. For those of you not in the know, you should go check out Twitter. There is a picture of the roof of Data's mouth,
That is new.
which looks like the
Griznil infrastructure.
Yeah, it looks like an alien face
Hugger.
and it's terrible. It is a terrible
Frightening
picture.
like the face hugger.
Yeah.
You can see my sandblasted titanium
Yeah.
in the roof of my grill.
Can't even look at that with all the other stuff that's going on the roof of your mouth.
Ugh.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
is that one of your pet peeves though?
What's that?
So is that like a gore thing?
What, the roof of someone's mouth?
Yeah.
No, it's just not a pleasant view. I
No.
mean, the way the picture's taken, you can see like
I don't
hair.
think I'd ever really thought about trying to do that with my phone either.
No.
I'm like, wow, he nailed that.
There's another.
he did.
Oh, do you even want to know how many times I tried that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, there was like hair. There's hair around the edge, and you can't
It's
really
my stash,
tell
man.
where it's looking. And then
I'll
you
put it in the
realize-
podcast so you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Speaking of money, did you play Lotto?
I have 3 tickets.
No,
Yeah, $750 million.
I'm not going to get out early enough
Just
tonight.
in case we don't get fat sponsors from McDonald's, I had to play the Lotto.
California will be our sponsor.
Yeah. State of California.
750.
Yeah.
This is from the California lottery only.
No, it's the big one.
This is the Powerball?
Yeah, multi-state.
Mm.
Do we even have an actual solo state lottery?
Yeah.
Aren't they all conglomerates now?
No, we have there's a state.
Is there?
Yeah,
Oh.
they,
See,
they don't.
I
get,
thought Mega and Power were all conglomerate states now.
Well, they are. Those are different lotteries, but the California lottery participates. But the California lottery has its own.
No.
I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head because I don't play the lottery very much. But yeah, we have our own, but I don't think ours get very big because the Powerball and whatever the other one is, because they're multi-state, they grow larger quicker.
No. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Whereas ours don't grow that large.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Fuck.
Yep.
Well,
I saw you leaning forward. I was like, "That's it.
Cut him
Off at the past, or past."
Path.
Yeah. Let me fuck up that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is Jim here, and we got Foo over in the other one, and the other mic.
Yeah.
And Foo, I have a question for you.
Yeah, buddy.
Are you aware of any places to get our podcast?
I'm aware of at least 2.
Oh, well, what are they?
We are definitely on Spotify, and we are definitely on YouTube. Where else
I think
are we?
iTunes.
Oh, iTunes. Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, iTunes. And also Google Play.
Google Play.
Yeah.
Now, I will be totally honest.
Yeah.
So, I can't stand the podcast
App
functionality and searchability within Google Play. Drives me up the wall.
Now,
you guys suck.
I'm a staunch Apple guy.
Yeah.
And in doing the podcast have dealt with all the big players, and I will admit that the Google Play finding podcast thing is just not easy.
No, it's not.
No.
Like I know I'd listened to Kim's podcast, the Murder Myth podcast, on a run before on my phone through Google Play. I went to go catch up on their latest episode, and it wasn't in. It was like I hadn't listened to it before, and then when I went to type, I knew the title.
Yep.
Like to try and find it in there, no go. And I went,
it's
well,
like
wait,
you have
did
to
I even listen? Is it there?
You have to find it in like a certain place.
And then I went to ours, and it wasn't even
Updated?
synced. It synced to the last episode. I'm like, I'm done. I went over to iTunes and typed in their podcast.
There it is.
It was right there. And I went, see, this is frustrating. Now, us being on YouTube is certainly a easy facilitator for me. I haven't heard any frustrations on Spotify or any of the other places where you can get us. Certainly not from the website.
Yeah.
But
it's immediately available on the website.
Yeah, it's certainly. I can see how there would be frustration in someone that would be trying to locate any podcast, let alone ours, on the Google Play platform, and searching Murder and Myths and Sad Dad's Club podcast on Google Play on a machine that hadn't previously found and sourced them was like, I would have been, there's no go.
Yeah.
But yet I go over to their website or our website or iTunes, and it was instantaneous.
Right.
Like, I could see how frustrating it would be for new starting endeavors in podcasting or any sort of music or presentation.
Or imagine if you didn't use iTunes and you just used Google.
Right.
I mean, you may never get listened to.
There's a reason it's probably called podcasting and not playcasting.
Right.
Do they know what a Google search is?
Don't do it, man. Oh, get out of here. It's not that easy when you're when you're on the Google Play's website. You expect to be able to find anything.
Here's a solution.
Yeah,
getting clear for this one. Get a fucking iPhone.
Yeah, but not everyone can do that, and you want to spread your. Not everyone has $5,000 to buy a new iPhone.
Well, I guess they should just not listen to podcasts ever again. Then.
They just get an iPod Touch.
Do they have YouTube? Yeah. Get there.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just get an iPod Touch.
Long story.
Yeah. Well, that's, Mike kind of alluded to that it doesn't update very quickly on his too. So.
And I see it on mine. It's just easier to go to YouTube or pull it from the website.
Yeah.
Or iTunes.
Hey, Mike, make these guys invite you here again. We miss you.
Yeah.
Why are you talking so much?
It is what it do.
It's what I do. All right. Well, you can always find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And
a lot on Twitter. The extended conversation, kind of like the HBO, what is that, Bill Maher's, the After Hours.
Yeah.
We're always rolling on Twitter.
Yeah. There's days where it just doesn't stop.
Nonstop.
Also, hit us on email at saddadsclubpodcast@gmail.com. Did I sound like a robot? I was trying to sound like a robot.
Pretty good.
So, yeah. Well, we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Data loves that we talk about that.
Just Google it, man.
I'm going to Google you.
Just fucking Google it.
Yeah. So, refresh from last week.
Yeah.
So, we do have... I wanted to make sure I circle back. we have at least 2 people that I think we should try in April at some point.
Now I know we talked about this.
Want to do the Choco Challenge, the Fuego box.
Let them do it.
I'll do it.
I
feel like we couldn't buy in. I couldn't buy in and watch 2 people like, we'll let you proctor it.
I just feel like I did that shit. I mean, I got nothing to prove. I handled it pretty well.
I almost feel like there's some, like, I'm intrigued to try some of the other methods to wipe it or to get through it. The pineapple juice is seriously like
pineapple, lemon, and orange
and ice
juice.
cream. Ice cream.
How about this? How about you blend it into like a smoothie and drink it? So it's just like every drink you take is just going to be hell.
Yeah, it would probably. Well, I could. Oh, and then if you pounded it, you get a frozen ice cream headache.
With your
and
mouth
the
burning.
Fuego box
and torch.
No, that would probably cause an aneurysm. So we do have that. We have a couple listeners that would do it. So I'm down.
All right, well,
we just got to schedule a day.
All right. Well.
And then so I had a conversation with a buddy we were talking about the streaming gaming thing. There were at least four other. He linked me a Gizmodo article of 4 other entities that are already doing like streaming services. There's a Microsoft one, an NVIDIA one, some French company that essentially sells you like a cloud-based Windows 10 box that you can game on a cloud PC.
Now, a cloud PC, it doesn't have a local OS?
It does. You're essentially it's like a VM box.
Okay.
So you're getting like a display of an actual VM that's fully Windows 10, and it has the game on there, and you're playing it remotely that way. And I'm not quite sure, but it was like an overseas thing. I have heard people in seeing
that's the Blade Shadow.
Yeah, the Blade Shadow. I've seen people do the PlayStation one, but usually, and I've seen them use it specifically for Destiny, but usually it's something as remedial as moving inventory around. They're not going into the Crucible, which is like the PvP portion of Destiny, and they're not playing it like that. They're doing like menial tasks and like walking around or like managing inventory. I haven't seen the Xbox not the Xbox, the Microsoft version one.
The Project X Cloud.
Yeah, and I don't know enough about the NVIDIA one to speak to that one either. But so there are other providers that are doing something similar. And I think the fact that I didn't know off the top of my head, I didn't know that they were there. I think that tells you probably as much as you need to know about how viable the gaming streaming service is right now. Like, there would have to be a game-changing method of compression and transport in order to remove a serious amount of latency.
It says
for people to buy into that.
On the NVIDIA one, it works with Mac too, and there's a lot of titles on here.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to test that out. Let us know next week.
I'm going to request a beta right now.
Oh, so it's beta.
It is beta, yes.
Yeah.
That's the NVIDIA one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if
the GeForce now.
PUBG is on there. That is very enticing for me because I am a PUBG
What's
fan.
the cost?
I don't know. I will look.
Or is it like free for the beta?
I don't see any. Oh, Call of Duty, like all the new ones except for the brand new ones on there. It looks like no COD 4.
Huh.
Well, yeah, test it. Let us know.
What's your game that you like?
Destiny.
Oh, Destiny. Let's see.
Destiny 2 specifically.
They only have Destiny 3.
Destiny.
Yeah, right? What?
I don't see. Oh yeah, Destiny 2. Yeah.
I'll be damned. Well,
free beta.
Why don't you try it, Vu?
Because I play it on my Xbox.
Well, then you have something to...
And we talked about, I don't leave my house enough to play it remotely.
No, but I mean, you have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying play it all the time, but try it.
See it.
Yeah. See how it
So
works.
I would be curious, because they have a PC port of Destiny 2. So I'm curious, are you playing the PC port, or are you playing one of the console through that? How curious.
The thing that sucks about games for me is that I have all these games I paid for the Xbox, but then I got to pay for them again for another platform.
Yeah.
That seems silly.
Unless it was like one of the newer Windows type where you can cross-play. Anyway.
I don't know, man. I just play on my phone.
What did we else we cover? I had the games.
Last week?
Yeah. Yeah, again.
Breakfast Jacks?
Oh, yeah, breakfast, yeah.
Oh, boy.
No.
He's not wearing a kilt today.
Nah, no kilts.
That bodes well for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't have any circling back shit.
You don't have
to
any
talk
circles?
about. No.
What'd you do this weekend?
I probably sound like the most boring person half the time because...
Well, maybe you got rest. Who wouldn't want a little bit more rest?
Didn't do too much. I mean...
Because it rained, didn't it?
Huh?
It rained, didn't it?
It was not nice out.
No.
It did rain, I think, a little bit. Yeah, in fact, Saturday is when the sky opened up around 6:30.
Yeah.
And
it
rained really hard for about 45 minutes to an hour. Rainbow and the whole nine, but I mean, it was crazy train rain.
Did we? Oh yeah, we had
Ozzy was there and everything.
West House.
Yeah, West House. We talked about it at the West House. But yeah, we did West House, and I had a SSD that I was using externally on my machine, and I took my machine apart and put it inside. I did that.
Yeah.
So I have a Mac Mini that had just a regular hard drive in it, and it's an older Mac Mini, so every little bit helps. So I put an SSD in it, and
Now you can make shows.
I still can't probably edit very well on it, but if I really wanted to, I'd have to get a new machine.
Talking about video?
Yeah.
Bro, good luck.
On a Mac Mini?
Yeah. It's an older Mac Mini, too. It's from
this guy's got like 1.4 gigahertz.
2009, I think.
486 DX2 66.
Oh, it's an 11?
Yeah.
It's old. It's an older Mac Mini. But, yeah, so really needs to be replaced with a newer machine.
No.
I'd be more than happy to do that. They're just, they just cost money.
Money.
Yeah. So I didn't really do that much.
We had because Venus left she left Saturday for a run in Napa on Sunday.
She had the runs?
Yeah, a run.
Oh.
After the run, sometimes that happens. It's not pleasant.
No.
It was an inaugural women's Napa half marathon and 5K.
First ever?
Yeah. Of which she got this really nice commemorative wine glass that I was trying to remember the name of her race, so I went into the kitchen and asked her.
This is a true sad dad's moment.
Oh yeah, I am shamed for this. So I went into the kitchen to ask her before the podcast, like what the name of her race was, and she told it to me.
Caucasian.
Yeah, and I said, okay, and she referenced the little wine glass that was on the counter, and I went, oh, all right. So me thinking smart, I'm gonna, because I may forget it after having whatever conversation we have. So I grab the glass and I start walking back to the office, and in my attempt to set the glass down on my desk to grab my phone to take a picture of the name, I fumbled the glass and it dropped on my footrest and just completely disintegrated.
Now, are you gonna glue it back together?
Absolutely not. It's on its way to being processed as sand or something. I don't know. But an inaugural thing, and I apologized up and down, and she's like, "It's no, but I probably wouldn't." Sad fucking dad, dude. I could have left it in the kitchen and walked back in, or I could have taken the time to like memorize the name.
Could have, should have, would have.
And I lazily walked it all the way fucking back to the office to like, and dropped it and just.
I mean, it could have been your phone though.
What an idiot! I would have. See, if I dropped my own thing, that's me. That's on me.
Well, I see what you're looking at because
dropping on someone else's.
It was something she earned,
right?
Yeah.
And it was like a unique thing. It wasn't like
everybody's got one.
The race has been going for 10 years or 11 years, and she got a. It's not like the medals that you get for these races. I mean, they're special to you, but most of these things have been going so long. It's like, well, everyone's got one of those. Next year, it'll be the second annual, which she signed up for. And if someone wants to like have bragging rights about bringing their wine glass, she won't have one because her idiot fucking husband disintegrated it on his office floor.
Well,
he's got
to look at it this way,
club hands.
She's probably not likely to take it back with her.
Well, now she can't.
she probably wasn't.
Anyway, she did really well in her race.
Yeah.
So props to her. I think they all had a lot of fun, best I could tell. She had nothing but smiles and good stuff to talk about the race and how it was held. Her group of Kaya girls were all famous because they're going to be on like the promo pictures, I think, for their Facebook for the next year or whatever it is they were doing for advertising. So a lot of smiles. Us here at the house, us plebeians that didn't run, Piper and I like got totally busy playing Destiny all weekend. It just video gamed the shit out of the Xbox.
Nice.
It was awesome. We like crushed all kinds of little quests that she had. It's fun to play in like with a passion that I have and share it with at least one of the kids. And she, best I can tell, it's not something I have to drag her into do.
She enjoys
shooting aliens in the face just as much as
everybody should.
As Daddy does.
Can she shoot datas in the roof of the mouth?
Yeah. If that was presented, I'm sure she could nail that.
I think we should actually have like a mouth graft so I don't have that anymore. Because
you should get a tat kind of like at the outline inside the roof of their mouth.
Yes.
Oh boy!
And it's funny too to see the specifically someone like Xander. Because when I was playing stuff like Halo 4 and Halo Reach, when they were just pods, Xander seemed really interested in playing that stuff because I'm sure probably because I was, by proxy, I was playing it, so he was interested. And I would give him the controller, and he would shoot his toes, like just happy to be shooting something, like just absolutely unload an entire clip at his toes.
Yeah.
They have both progressed into decent gamers, and Piper by far is like leaps and bounds beyond, what she started as, and enjoys it. And I think that's what's, as a dad, is most enjoyable about the experience, especially games.
Yeah.
So I'm still reading about the NVIDIA stuff.
Yeah.
Since we're still talking about games. It says that you can actually play at 120 frames per second.
So that's not surprising.
Like big title games like PUBG, which are like super, like my Xbox can't even really handle.
So it would be interesting how they handle that latency. What's the fidelity of the graphics at 120
there
frames?
Must be
it said at least 25 megabits per second is what you need to have
there must
120
be
frames.
Significant load times.
Yeah.
It says you need to have either a 5 gigahertz router connection or hardwired straight into your
hardwired is going to be better.
Yeah. I just actually
because it's not like for those. I mean, you get 4K on Netflix too, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a buffer there. You can't do that with PUBG.
No.
You can't get a 5 to 10 second buffer.
I can load up
with PUBG.
I can load a 4K Netflix movie and pretty quickly. Like it'll usually be like splotchy for a second, and then it'll just be good the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a pretty sophisticated compression algorithm for Netflix.
Right. And I'm sure for some games that I don't doubt that applies. Yeah. I mean, you could probably get a single player campaign of something like Halo 5 or Destiny, but where you're.
But it seems like all the stuff that you're relying on to get that performance would have to be loaded on the machine, and then all the stuff in the game is the latency stuff, the moving parts.
Right. Yeah.
So you're generating the frames per second at your machine, blah blah blah. All that stuff's happening at the computer. It's just all the things that are moving are coming from the server side. And that would be the tough.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and your control has to. It's not.
It's got to be.
It's got to go out to come back.
Yeah.
And that's also video, right?
Yeah.
So video, sound, like all of that.
You're not going to do that with the satellite dish.
Yeah. No direct TV, broadband.
No.
Not happening.
No.
God. Terrible.
You think your internet's bad? You should get direct TV internet.
Dude, I had my computer hardwired to my router. I paid for $250 and I couldn't even break 100 on the download.
Now
What the fuck, dude?
Now you have Comcast, and
unfortunately, yes.
And I have heard, depending on time of the day and when everybody else is also using it.
Oh yeah, true.
Also,
it was
has an impact.
Like 4:00, so.
Yeah,
if you're at between 4 and 6 is when everyone's coming home and checking mail or blah blah blah, and so you're going to get impacted by that. If you have a slower time of the day where less people are using the internet at home and around in your neighborhood, then you're going to have much better chances of getting.
If you could find a way to get fiber at like an enterprise level.
I mean, I get.
I'm sure you're going to get prioritized.
I mean, I'm running the test over wireless through Airport Extreme, and I have 100 megabit service through Consolidated.
Right.
And I get down is usually right around 95 or 96, and up. The last couple times I tested it didn't go all the way. It only went to like 26 up, but I usually get ups faster than the downs, which is usually 26 to 20, or 96 to 98. So I don't know what was significant about when I ran the test last, or if they've started to throttle the ups, because typically they have never done that.
It was so the conversation I had with Grant in reference to the streaming services. So when Grant lived here, we were still in the house. We were still trying to get fiber here, and Grant lived at a couple places here in Roseville. One of which was the Canterbury Portal down over here by the Boston Market.
Yeah, I used to live there.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. They had fiber there.
Okay.
To my knowledge, but I think he was referencing. So there's fiber, like literally right across the street.
That's not that far away.
Not too figuratively. And he's like, well, there's no fiber. You still don't have fiber? I'm like, no. I said, but the houses that they're building new structures out off of Fittyment, those are all getting fiber. I said, replacing infrastructure in Roseville is no longer a priority because all of that material and budget is going into new infrastructure, not replacing. So everyone that has it, you're good. Everyone that needs a copper to fiber upgrade, sorry, because they're already too busy laying new infra on new houses.
Not only that, so at my house, my top speed is 100 megabit, and the new stuff that's going on out at Fittyment, I hear that they have speeds up to gigabit.
Oh, really?
So they have even the newer
They've got
equipment.
the hotness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have looked because I know that they have offered it, depending on what your address is.
Who owned? Oh, it's Consolidated.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so I will periodically check the website to see, have they upgraded the equipment in the area to allow for gigabit, but we're still stuck at the 100. Now you're paying for 250, right? Down?
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't remember what.
I love paying for 250 down and getting 15 up. That's the most you can get.
Yeah.
15 up?
15. I had to upgrade from 150 up to 250 up because...
Wait, no,
No,
down.
I think I said it wrong.
Down.
Because 150 you only get 10 up.
Wait, 10 at 150 down, you only get 10 up.
Yes.
And at 250 down,
a whole extra 5.
You get 15 up.
Yeah. I was like, can we make it so it's even? Like, what the hell? And they're like, nope.
Yeah. Consolidated's been really good in the sense that they don't have data caps, and
we really like the service.
Yeah,
we had just gotten into a point where, because I'm working from home, I was struggling with the amount of internet-enabled devices and things that were being done at the house.
Start crowding that pipe.
It was getting too much.
Title of your sex tape.
And crowd the pipe. What? Wait, that would be terrible. Crowding the pipe?
And be a multi.
A dog in a bathtub.
Do you have a modem and a router then?
Yes. And
I only have their rental modem. That's not good at all.
You have a rental modem / router.
Yes.
So, anyway. If there was an opportunity where they Consolidated had finally run fiber here, I would be on it because we had no problems with the service. It was just every time we said we're at the end of our rope with the capacity that we have here on copper. It was like ADSL plus. We need, and they're like, we don't have it, and we're not pulling it.
I don't even think it's a matter of them having to come out and cut the street up. All they have to do is get down there where the copper is and pull fiber lines through.
Right. Well, you would think it would be that simple, but
the reason why I say that is because when it was Sure West, no, it was Roseville Internet Service, RCSIS back in the day. So back when it used to be Roseville Telephone offered the internet. So that was who it was initially. And we couldn't get... I tried to get on their beta program for internet service because it was like, oh, they've got broadband. Sweet. And they're like, what's your address? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You have fiber to the curb, and we can only do it over copper for at the moment. It's like, come on. I got the good shit in my neighborhood.
Can't even use it.
I can't even use it. Well, the way that I ended up getting the broadband service was one day when I was leaving for work, they were in the manhole covers, and I stopped, and I said, what are you guys doing? Oh, well, we're running a couple copper lines to a couple houses. And I want you to do that to my house too. And I literally went to work and called them right away and said, you got guys in my neighborhood. They're in the manhole covers right now. And I want you to run a copper line to my house too.
Yeah.
And that's how I initially got my internet over from now it's Consolidated. And then eventually the copper sped out, and they could only offer it up to, I think it was 18 megabit. And they were like, okay, well, if you're going to upgrade to the 100, you have to go to the fiber. And I was like,
well, guess what?
Okay, well, I've got fiber already too.
Yeah, I got that too.
And it's crazy because it is fiber right into the side of the house. It goes fiber into the box, and then from the box it's like a little
bink.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Hey bro, I got fiber already.
Oh
fuck.
Yeah.
Well,
get that guy a breakfast jack.
I fucked up.
Oh my gosh. Anywho. So anyway,
long technical talk about internet stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's interesting to see the people getting left.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I just want the fibers. It would be really nice.
I would just like
So it would be
Wi-Fi.
curious to see, how fast they turn around with that beta.
I keep checking the email refresh. I doubt it's going to come in now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, do why don't you use that fancy
You're
thing,
not-
the Google, and see how long the beta takes to turn back to you.
Yeah, you're not in business hours now. Someone's got to look at your name and be like, nope, he's not getting it.
He's a fucking dick.
Oh,
I know him.
that ticket came in after 5. No.
Yeah.
No, maybe offshore is going to answer that one.
No, definitely not.
No, and offshore doesn't have the ability to authorize any new accounts and betas.
So is that your whole weekend? Was the
Yeah,
just gaming weekend, huh?
we did.
For the most part?
It was awesome.
That's cool.
We gamed the snot out of Destiny.
Now, we had talked about, I think a couple times, how Data's fucked up my water pressure at my house.
Right.
When he says fucked it up, it really means I made it better.
He didn't.
Oh, yeah, because you were getting sandblasted in the shower.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
welcome.
No, that's not cool.
It's exfoliating.
So I have since worked on it now a couple of times.
Yeah.
And the pressure regulator, I did a bunch of research before I touched it again, and everything says in order to decrease the pressure that you should turn the screw on the pressure regulator counterclockwise.
Okay.
So I go, okay, because right now it's clockwise all the way in.
Okay.
And so that makes me think, oh shit, it's all the way up.
Yeah.
Right? That would be the logical.
Right.
So I pulled all the fucking screws off of all the nuts that were on the screw. I took them all off, so I just have the screw part in the thing, and I get it to turn. And it starts coming out, right? It starts lengthening out of the pressure regulator.
Okay.
And I've got a pressure gauge that I've got on the hose bib, and I got the water turned all the way up.
Okay.
So the initial reading on it when I first started is like 82 pounds.
Okay.
As I start screwing it out counterclockwise, like everybody talks about, the pressure is getting higher and ends up topping out at 102. At some point I go, shit, I can't leave it like that. And the thing is, it went from like being sticking out of the pressure regulator maybe
3/4 of an inch.
3/4 of an inch to now being out like maybe 2 inches or so.
Wow.
And so it's come out pretty far, and it just keeps I keep watching the needle go higher and higher on the pressure, and I'm like, I can't have that.
Yeah, now you're going to walk out skinless.
Jesus Christ. So then I had to turn it the clockwise all the way and wrench it all the way back, and I think I got it to like maybe 81. So now it's like, do I got to fucking have a plumber come out?
Wow.
And replace the pressure regulator?
How interesting.
Yeah.
You can't get it. It's all the way in.
It's all the way in as far as I can tell. And I hesitate to screw it the counterclockwise direction that everybody says you should to decrease the pressure.
How funny.
The more in that thingamajigger screw is the less you get. Or sorry, no, the more out it is, the less pressure you get.
No.
That's
exactly what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
The further out I got, the more pressure I got.
It's not even theorycraft. He's essentially saying it did not work in practice.
I was trying to remember how it worked when I did the deed.
So, yeah, interesting, huh?
Wow.
And I'm like thinking, well, how much is that going to cost me now to have a fucking plumber come out and replace that thing?
Probably like $10.
Right?
About 10.
Yeah. For the part.
Nah. Not including labor.
So it's actually a wait list, by the way.
Well, that's no fun.
Probably fucked.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's beta, your chances are good you're waitlisted for sure.
Destiny 3.
No, it's definitely a wait list.
Does it say how long?
I'm trying to find in some forums how long it's lasting, but some people are like, I've signed up months ago.
Don't go to 4chan.
Rip.
The answer won't be on 4chan.
Huh. I'm almost excited. I mean, how long has that been? I mean, it's been around long enough that the guy's been on the wait list for months?
If this is the same thing, somebody posted this in January, so.
No. Well, that's not shocking.
It's been a couple months. Yeah.
When people start buying games and they're expecting to be able to play them, I presume, you don't want to be... Yeah. It's different when you're selling a beta service, but then you're tying a $60 game. I bought this $60 game, and your beta service is canning me every time I try and log in.
Do you still have to buy the game? Doesn't it come with this? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you
do?
You probably,
you could play like Fortnite for free, which I can play at 60 frames too on this computer.
Well, that's
easily.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Is it seems like if you're doing a service where everything's coming from,
well, that's why I'm interested to know.
It seemed like you would pay a fee and then get whatever games. Like the Apple Arcade thing. Whatever games we offer.
I don't know about that. I mean, you would have to be a very expensive service, right? Because Destiny alone, and most AAA titles are $60 a whack. So they may be like potentially like a $4.99 monthly service,
but you still have to buy.
But you would have to buy the game, and your license key is somehow kept within whatever PC or console infrastructure that they're emulating. That's why it would be interesting to know, because Destiny is a PC game now, whereas it wasn't before. So if these are PC titles, it would be easy to allocate you a PC license key and tied to your rig or your VM. But if it was a console, and I already own the title on console, do I just use my Xbox Live or PSN and it translates?
Well, it looks like you buy the shit off Steam.
Okay, so there you go.
But see, like, I don't understand. Like, if you have a Xbox on PS4, like, you really have to buy both of them? Like, you already own one of them. I don't see why.
Right, but if you don't own it on Steam, then you're SOL. You buy it on, you're buying it again on Steam,
which sucks. I'd be down to never buy another console again, though. If I can play stuff on this MacBook Pro, I would throw my Xbox in the garbage.
Well,
no, I'm kidding.
So does that mean that if you're playing Fortnite or PUBG or something, you're getting into the same games you would have gotten in on another platform?
Probably.
Same network people?
It's like I said, it would depend on whatever the emulator is. Because even on the Switch, PlayStation, mobile, Xbox, and PC, you can choose who your lobby contains. It's either
on
same...
Fortnite?
Yeah. On Fortnite.
Fortnite's cross-compatible.
You can,
Phone.
And something else is PUBG... mobile. PUBG's not on Switch, but you can tailor, like on the Switch, because that was like the running joke with like being a redheaded stepchild. It's like people on Switch don't have the horsepower to be in the same lobby as a person on PC. So you can say, I want to play with Switch players only, or if you're just a Fortnite PUBG god, you could play.
Okay, so we're talking about this. And I'm realizing if you're buying it off Steam, you're downloading basically the app on your system. So the only networks is the same network stuff that you would have on a normal, right? I mean, you buy it and download it in Steam. You're running that game.
I'm not sure if you download it from Steam. I think you
it would be tied to
the internet.
Yeah, you would run it out of your.
It checks your account to see if you have bought a license.
So if Steam would have
a receipt of your license keys.
No, I get that, but Steam would have a download for normal local play or whatever locally.
Yeah.
And then they would have another one.
You could do
for the service.
So if I was playing a Steam-based Call of Duty on my rig, I would be doing that. But then I went to my cousin's house down south. I could, on my phone or maybe on my Mac, start the GeForce thing and play, leveraging my Steam accounts purchases virtually.
Okay, well, that's...
Seems like a
very
convoluted way to play a game if you're that dedicated, but
Okay.
So they're virtualization service is leveraging your Steam licensing.
Yeah, I get that. I understand.
That seems a good way to do it, because you wouldn't want to have to recreate a wheel, a machine that generates licenses. Steam already does that.
Well, if that's the case, then wouldn't you have access to both of the Steam versions?
Probably you couldn't play them at the same time, but however...
No, it seems like if you're going to buy one license that works with the NVIDIA GeForce service...
Right.
Then you now have a license for that game.
Right. Unless they offer unless there's a Steam version for download local PC play.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And Steam version of game for GeForce, and it's $10 less. And you can't download it locally and play it on a rig. It's only a purchase key that's viable for a VM or whatever GeForce does.
Yeah, I wonder how that works.
Well,
I mean, it wouldn't matter for me because I have a Mac, so I can barely even play anything in the first place.
Right. So if
for us Mac users,
but that's probably something that Steam would have to work out with.
Would be cool.
The publishers of the games. Like, hey, this person, is there a price point that you would value this game at that isn't for download on the system but playable on the GeForce platform? Maybe it's less. Maybe they have zero fucks.
Have you used Steam on your machine?
I have used Steam to play
PUBG?
No, I can't get that's a PC only.
Oh.
I can do CS:GO.
Oh.
But Epic Games Launcher is how I've been playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
Fortnite
what's
really good.
What's the other one? Blizzard.net is Activision's other
sure.
one.
Yeah.
You can play StarCraft.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like gaming on a computer.
Though.
That's better though.
What is it?
Yeah, that is. I used to love playing it.
Do you find when you're aiming, when you're aiming, do you feel it's easier to use a mouse or a joystick? Because I feel like the mouse is way more precise.
It is, but I've been playing on console so much. So here's a good thing. So Destiny, like I said, came out with a PC port a couple months after Destiny 2 came out. The PC port came out. I played the beta of the PC port on my PC, and having played it so much on console and having only played console games for 5+ years, it was a struggle to get mouse and keyboard.
The keyboard is very confusing for me.
Yeah, but can't you get like a D-pad for your PC?
You can take your Xbox controller and plug
USB
and plug it in, and it works that way. But part of the
you get more control
and whatnot that comes with playing it on a PC is the precision, and I was all over the place. It wasn't so hard to get the ASD and the directions.
Yeah, that's easy.
But my reticle was like it was hard. They came out. They did like a promo where they ended up offering a Destiny PC version for free somewhere over last summer. So I got it. I have the PC version of Destiny, and it's just until there's like cross saves or something. It's a hard ask. You can play it with a controller. But you lose. What they do is if you're playing mouse and keyboard with Destiny, the aim assist is low, if not completely turned off. But there's also no like bounce with recoil. The second you plug a controller into the PC version, they go If you're gonna play with a controller, now you get recoil, but you get your aim assist back.
Interesting.
So there are guns that perform completely different in Destiny relative to if you're playing it on the PC with your mouse and keyboard or the controller. So it's
that's interesting.
It's interesting. So that exists. And I played decades of RPG stuff, mouse and keyboard, Dark Age Camelot, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, stuff like that. But in those, you're not like, CS:GO. It's not like an MP5 or something where you're clicking on heads and stuff. You've a monster or a zombie, something that's got a really big hitbox. It's different, when you're okay.
Yeah.
Click, drag a square, go over here. What is it? Yeah. It's like, mind the ore, fool. But when you're clicking on little heads in an FPS, my thumbs are go-to, not mouse and keyboard anymore. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, that's where I was. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last show, but I had hooked up my N64.
Yeah.
And I think we were talking about this at the West House. I had hooked up the N64 and was playing Super Mario.
Yeah.
And all the save game. I mean, I hadn't played it in a really long time, and all my save games were there. And I was like, "Oh, sweet!" So I loaded up I had like 69 stars, and I'm like, I need 1 star to get to go see the big boss. I need 1 star.
But so you remembered where you were in the game.
Yeah. Well, I had to like kind of search the castle, like where was I? That's right. And,
All right.
And so I started remembering, okay, so here's some of the doors I would go in to find levels that I could earn stars in, because there was most of the places that I'd been, I'd already earned all the stars. And so I just need 1 star. And what was frustrating was the levels have gotten to the point to where the touchiness of the controller started to be a challenge.
Okay.
Based on where you were in what level you were.
Okay.
So one of the things, I don't know if you remember playing Super Mario Brothers on the N64.
Is that the one with the raccoon tail?
No, it's the one with the castle and
where you rode Yoshi?
No. It's a castle, and there's different places where the water levels change, and that lets you into certain places.
Okay.
And there's all these little levels in the castle, and you got levels behind the castle and in the water and all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
But there's wireframe things that are moving in the levels, and then the camera is panning and moving while you're trying to run. So you're having to run and then jump like in a straight line.
Yeah.
But the camera pans on you in certain places, and it makes it hard to make that straight jump because the shit's moving.
Your perspective changes.
Your perspective is changing, and so the controls are very touchy, and so you end up falling and dying, and then you have to. I'm starting to remember this as I'm playing it. I'm going, no wonder why I stopped fucking playing this game.
This was a controller breaking moment.
Yeah, this was a point where I'm just like, I now remember why I stopped playing this game, because it got so hard that I couldn't find a place where I could earn a damn star to move on, and I got stuck.
Yeah.
That was like really frustrating.
Do your palms get sweaty when you?
My palms get sweaty?
Like when you get stuck at a spot.
If I'm there for a long time, and I get frustrated.
When we were playing, I was taking Piper through this jumping puzzle level, and her and Venus both share like a sort of condition, like jumping stuff gives them sweaty. Sure. Venus is much more accelerated of a condition than Piper's. Like Venus sweats everywhere, and her palms and she gets very nervous.
Yeah, I get tense.
So Piper had this quest thing that she was trying to nail down, and I said, we can do this, but this one that's this week is one of the harder ones because it's a jumping puzzle. And she's like, well, whatever. I'm like, I'll take you through it. I've already done it, but I'll walk you through it. So we get to these two spots, and you're jumping from a moving asteroid type of shape to another one that's moving. And I get to this thing, and I'm like, okay, this one's, and she just takes off and jump, and I think she shorts it. and the chatter just goes. And I went, okay, yeah, that's why I stopped, because you got to nail 1, 2. You have to commit to the jump, and I have to stop, so I make sure I nail the rotation of the block that's going. So I hang out for a second, and she comes back in, and now she's like a good 3 minutes ish of a jump puzzle behind me.
Okay.
And so I'm not saying much, and then I hear, damn it. And I look up and I see her like body, and she missed something else. I think she bounced off of like an inclined landing, and I'm not letting her have her moment. I'll wait for her to ask if she needs me to come back, go out, and then come back in to walk her through. And she knew what she had to do, so I proceeded to the next couple steps. I got out of the way. I think she died 2 or 3 more times, might have been twice, and then she nailed it. She caught up to me.
Yeah.
And I said, this last jump, we're jumping to a glass donut looking thing. I said, so when you get there, you're landing on an incline, and it's gonna want to bink bink. It's gonna want to slide you. So jump high. Nailed it. First shot, no problem. I said the last jump, or just kind of like a leap of faith thing. You jump down, save your last jump, then you're fine. Nailed it. We did it. Got to the little wizards and the boss. Slap, just absolutely destroyed the boss. Chest appears, and we're taking a break. She comes back. She's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "You did it. That's awesome.
Yeah,
good to go."
Yeah.
So it's funny. So the sweaty palms, both the girls get.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, there's one level where I'm gonna go back and play it again, because I feel
you gotta nail it.
I feel like I have to.
Yeah.
But there's like these like things that are floating in. It looks like water or oil.
Yeah.
And they're peaked, and they're up above, and then they sink down. Just the peak is now above. So if you're standing anywhere else,
but the peak,
you're dead.
Which Mario game is this?
Mario 64, I believe.
Mario 64?
Yeah. Yeah. Not Super Mario Brother. I think it's Mario 64. And you have a series of these, and so you have to be patient, and then you've got...
I did not play that one.
Oh, you didn't play that one?
Nope.
Oh, gosh. My wife and I have spent hours playing this damn game.
Yeah.
And
yep, I didn't play that.
It's a lot of fun, and the other part of it is now that we've got HD TVs and you're playing this old SD console on an HD TV, and it just looks like shit. No. It looks terrible, but it's like I'm
Was the 64 after the GameCube?
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't have a GameCube. I think the GameCube came after the 64.
Did it?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yo, Datas.
Yep.
Did the GameCube come after the 64? Because it went...
The GameCube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the GameCube was way after the 64.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
The GameCube came out in like 2000.
Balls. Anyway.
So anyway, I'm gonna get back on that thing, and
I feel it's like a crucible moment.
It kind of is, because it's like I feel like I've been stuck there literally for years.
GameCube came out September 14th, 2001.
And 64 is like in the 90s.
Nintendo 64 came out
96? 95.
1996, September 26th.
Yep, I did not have money for a console in 1996.
Back then. Yeah. So, I mean, we got hours on this game, right? And I know it's this huge castle with all these rooms, and I just got to get the 1 star so I can go visit Bowser. And like I said, I got to the point where it was like, oh yeah, that's right. There's doors up here, and you have to do this this jump where he flips up and lands on something so that he can make it to that point, and I remembered how to do all that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. You gotta like jump.
Are you almost at the end of the game, or are you somewhere in the?
Well, Bowser's usually the big boss that you have to defeat, and in order to see Bowser, I need the one more star. Because there's a door you go through, and they call it the never-ending stairs, and you see Bowser.
Yeah.
At the door, and when you go through, you get on the stairs, and you would be running up to go see Bowser if you had enough stars. But it tells you don't have enough, but it'll let you go through anyway. And then you get on the stairs, and you literally just never ending run on the stairs unless you have enough stars.
No, okay.
And so it's like you get on the stairs and you just run and run and run and run and run, and then you realize, oh shit, I'm never gonna get there. I don't have enough stars.
Not enough stars.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get back to it. I'll let you know.
Wiping your screen or wiping something off?
There's a piece of dust on it.
Oh.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Just solve it.
I'll get there. I just gotta find the patience.
We went through
at least one star.
Like our DS things. I think I said this at the West House too. Like Venus was cleaning out stuff, and she found our old DS lights.
Oh yeah.
And we had tons of games for like the kids too.
Yeah.
Like tons of little games.
Yeah, what's the is that the DS? Yeah, we had the DS. We had a couple of them, and that was around the time when our house got broken into and Shan's got stolen with all of her games. Ripperino.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things they got away with was her DS and it was like a little case that had all of her games and her DS in it.
Did you ever play the Zelda stuff? Were you a Zelda fan?
Yeah, I like Zelda. Yeah.
You may, I don't know if you're gaming or not. Xander is just tweaking out something sideways for the Breath of the Wild is probably one of the best games.
But this is on the Switch, right?
This is on the Switch.
Yeah, I don't have a Switch.
Oh.
And they're like $350?
Are they?
I think.
Shit, I hope not.
I thought they were.
I thought they were under $3.
Datas.
How much
Switches?
is it? Nintendo Switch.
Aren't they like $350?
$299 Best Buy. That's not bad.
$300.
Yeah.
If you want the Super Nintendo Super Switch Smash Bros. Ultimate Edition, you're paying $499.
Wow,
if you
$5.
If you want a Nintendo Switch Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Edition Black, you can pay $560 at Wally World.
What the hell?
Yeah.
See, now when we talk about the streaming thing, game innovation, I think the Switch, even though as far as horsepower and console stuff,
Switch is badass.
It's underpowered relative to the Xbox and the Sony.
Yeah.
And we talked about this as Wet House too. What they're doing with the Switch and its ability to be a docking thing and take and move and become a mobile thing without being this gargantuan, I dare say like an iPad size thing to be mobile.
Yeah.
And how simple it is to make that transition. It's amazing. It's awesome. You can't do that with an Xbox. You get close with like a Windows Play, but that requires your game to be on both. Mm-hmm. And even then, it's not something where it's as simple as like a bink. You set it in a dock, and you done and go.
Well, I always kind of looked at Nintendo with their systems to be sort of like Apple products. Where they do more with less, right?
Okay,
that's kind of how I look, and I'm not saying, that they're comparable necessarily, but the sort of the philosophy of how they do stuff. Apple tends to like do more with less specs, right? Because they own the hardware and the software together. They have tricks they can do to pull performance out. Mm-hmm. Nintendo does more with less in the sense that their games aren't hardcore intense, super realistic, like high-res games.
Right.
They're more cartoony.
Right. There's something to be said for the experience.
Yes.
That you're getting that doesn't necessarily revolve around fidelity.
Right. Right.
Your mobility in playing a game and the ease of use in playing that game has just as much as a value as how it makes you feel seeing something that's super realistic.
Right.
Well, that's good too, but could you pick up and pause it in the middle of gameplay and walk out and sit in a lawn chair? You can't. You aren't doing that with an Xbox, but you can with. You could do that playing Fortnite on your Switch.
Sure.
So anyway.
So I don't know. I have sort of drifted away from. I used to game like way more than I do now, and part of that's just time and desire. And I get a little gaming here on my phone here and there, but the desire to sit down and just game for a while, just hasn't really been there.
Yeah.
So, and then even when I do, I tend to play the Forzas and those kind of games.
Driving games?
Yeah, I dig driving games.
Dirt?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like all those. Those are fun.
Do you know that they have like a expansion pack stuff in the Forza game with all the Hoonigan?
Yes, I have.
Oh, really?
I have Horizon 4.
Oh, yeah.
I have all the Hoonigan stuff, and they just released a map that has like this special drift street where it's fucking badass.
Yeah,
Do you have it?
Wow.
No, but it's all Ken Block's like lineup. The Hoona truck, the Hoonicorn, the Focuses, and the Fiestas.
Wow.
Like all with the
liveries and shit.
Liveries, yeah.
Huh. Well,
yeah.
I don't know. And then I have a PlayStation 3, which is basically our Blu-ray player. I mean, we have a crap load of games for it.
Yeah.
And I haven't played a game on the. I think Melanie has recently. Her and her boyfriend were playing on PS3. But I mean, we have what's the previous Nintendo box?
The Wii.
The Wii. We have a Wii, and the
that
PS3
came out in 2006.
Yeah. But as far as like current gaming stuff, I don't have a PS4, and I'm not really an Microsoft Xbox guy, so I don't have any of the current systems. Chandler does.
I do.
He does. So whatever. Yeah. That's kind of how I look at it.
If you ever play Destiny, though, call me.
I don't have anything to play Destiny on.
That's true.
Nothing. I got nothing to play Destiny on. But, part of me says if I were going to go buy a console, it probably would be a Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's not a bad buy.
Yeah.
Xander, gets good mileage out of Breath of the Wild. As far as fun and entertainment, it's paid for itself in just the one Breath of the Wild game.
Yeah.
Easily.
And then I was thinking, shoot, I got NAB coming up, and I'll be gone for 4 or 5 nights.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily want to buy anything.
That would be awesome to take
something. Yeah.
And plug it in the room and just chill at night and play games.
Yeah.
Go to dinner, come back and game until you're tired and go to bed.
And then when you got home, you could pick it up and play it on your big TV if you wanted. Yeah.
Big.
Huh?
Yeah, it's 1080p.
720.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Big. 40 inches.
Why don't you make fun of me? I bought that TV how long ago?
Yeah, that's your
come
problem,
on, man.
New one's probably only like $75.
Exactly. It's a Sony Bravia, and the only reason why we didn't buy the 1080p version is because when we were watching at the showroom, my wife and I both saw something in the picture on the 1080p version of the same TV.
Yeah.
Where we were like, that's weird. Why is it? Do you see that? Yeah, I see that. And so we ended up with the 1080p version because it was a cleaner. 720p because it was cleaner. Yeah. But guess what? Most TV is broadcast at 720p anyway, so.
Do you watch live TV? Because I don't even.
Not much, no.
Some of us can afford live TV.
Some of us can afford Apple TV 4Ks. And a 4K TV.
Whatever. Whatever, silver spoon.
New MacBook.
The reason why you can afford all that is because I don't have a TV that's very big.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Right, we killed it.
Oh my gosh. So how are we doing on time?
It's 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
Talking about consoles.
I can't believe that. It feels like it was only like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We started this thing.
That's what she said.
That was after 30 seconds.
It feels like forever.
Feels like it was half an hour ago, but it was just 25 and a half seconds.
Why are you still throwing yourself upon me? Please,
get off me, you sweaty pig.
Please stop now.
All right. Well, we're going to let this one fly for tonight. I can't believe we talked the entire time about mostly console stuff.
Yeah.
So, but thanks for sticking with us, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
All righty.